Hello, my beautiful people. All right, so we had a trial that was kind of like popped up on us today that was supposed to happen today with the Delphi murder cases of Abby and Libby, the two girls that were murdered down in Delphi. So, as you know, if you've been keeping up on this, Richard Allen right now is in jail for this, right? So there was supposed to be a trial today, and it was actually supposed to be the first time ever the media was allowed inside of it. And it was supposed to be broadcasted, actually, like on Fox News was supposed to have it, so we were going to do a recap on that when they had that. But something interesting has kind of happened. Now, the reason why they're having this kind of pop-up court hearing is because supposedly former person on the defense's side leaked confidential crime scene photos that were of Abby and Libby and at the crime scene, and how the stick formations were and all of that. Apparently it got leaked out, and apparently it was from the defense. So with that, they are trying to, maybe say, okay, this is a mistrial, or, get the defense off the case. Like, we don't know what's going to happen, right? It's kind of interesting, though, that the defense has decided to get their own lawyer. And so they've hired their own attorneys, and they're saying, look, we didn't know that this person that doesn't work with us anymore, they used to work with us, that they were going to leak all this information. And they're trying to convince the court that, look, we had no idea. We did not go through and, do our gag order and go against that. And of course, the state is trying to be like, well, you know what? They broke the gag order. So this attorney should no longer have access to this case and should be kicked off. So that's where we're at right now. And it was supposed to be a full live event, and it has gotten fully canceled because as of right now, his lawyers are having to they have hired their own lawyers against this case right now. So, this whole case is already a mess. I don't think I updated you guys yet on the Odinite situation, which I'll go ahead and do that. Oh, man, I don't know if anyone, Richard Allen or anyone else that was truly involved, will be able to actually be charged without a reasonable doubt. This whole case has been just a mess. Actually, it's been a mess for a while. It's been a mess since they first arrested, what's his name? The Anthony Shots guy that had that profile. They arrested him. He is a sex offender, and obviously he's, done some terrible things, but he was like, I have nothing to do with the murders of the girls. But it's kind of weird that Anthony Shots was supposed to meet the girls the same day that, they ended up dead. So, as I've always been saying since the beginning, there's obviously more than one person involved in this. I did kind of want to go through here. Yeah, so that is what's going on with that. I know a lot of people are like, wait, wasn't it supposed to be? It was, and it's been canceled as of right now.
We on? All right, we are on the record in State of Indiana versus Richard Allen, 08C012210MR1. Thank you for your patience, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. McClellan, Mr. Luttrell, for your patience. We've had an unexpected turn of events, ladies and gentlemen. Earlier this afternoon, the defense attorneys have withdrawn their representation of Mr. Allen. Mr. Baldwin made an oral motion to withdraw. I granted that oral motion to withdraw, and Mr. Rosie will be submitting a written motion to withdraw, I'm assuming within the next couple of days. They have confirmed with the court that Mr. Allen's financial situation remains static, meaning he is continuing to be entitled to appointed counsel. I will reach out to public defenders to make that appointment. As Mr. Allen is now without counsel, I've ordered him transported back to the Department of Correction. Mr. McClellan, I know that we have already scheduled a hearing in the Carroll Circuit Court October 31st at 9 a.m. I'd like to maintain that hearing if we can, please. Yes, Your Honor. I think at that point we can have counsel appointed. I'd like to set a new trial date. Obviously, I don't believe counsel will be prepared within the next couple of months to try a case of this magnitude in January. So we'll set dates for the trial. I think we need to set a date as well for the suppression hearing that was filed now by former counsel. I have asked the attorneys to provide all of the discovery previously provided back to the state of Indiana. I know I entered a protective order on the discovery, and honestly, I don't remember when that was. I think it was in April of this year, perhaps, maybe sooner. But the attorneys have been ordered to provide all of that discovery back to the state. And if you would maintain that until such time as it can be turned over to successor counsel, I would appreciate that, Mr. McClellan.
Yes, Your Honor.
I've also asked the defense attorneys to cooperate with successor counsel. They're not required to do that, but I think that they will in the best interests of Mr. Allen. They're not required to provide any of their work product, but they will be required and have indicated that they will cooperate with successor counsel. So obviously, without counsel, Mr. Allen's hearing cannot proceed. I apologize that I know many of you have been waiting for several hours. I know, Mr. McClellan, you and your staff, and you had some witnesses here that came earlier to have the hearing, but clearly this is outside of our control. So is there anything, Mr. McClellan, that you'd like to state for the record?
No, Your Honor. I think we can address the other issues at the October 31st court date.
All right. With that being said, then, we are in recess. Thank you. I'll see you in October.
Because of all this. So that's fantastic, right? So, some stuff that has been confirmed that actually is going to make this even harder for the prosecutors to even prosecute Richard Allen or, like I said, anyone else that may be involved in. So the defense was saying that, you know what, these men that were watching Richard Allen, they were Odinites and they were prison guards that were actually watching over him and that they were threatening him. Well, it has actually been confirmed that these guards that do watch Richard Allen have been wearing those patches. Like, they've been wearing patches saying "In Odin we trust," and then a symbolism for Odinism. So, but that begs the question too, as to, you know, Odinism is not as common as, say, like Christianity or, you know, Buddhist or whatever. If you didn't know that symbols meant that they were Odinites, like, I don't think most people would have known unless you actually know someone who is in that religion. I mean, obviously, you know, when you see a cross, most of the time that's Christianity, right? But if you see these three triangles that they have on their patches, if you don't know what that is, most people, I think, are just gonna be like, okay, that's kind of weird. I noticed that, but that's kind of weird, and let them go on their merry way. So is Richard Allen a part of this Odinistic belief system too? We don't know. But I mean, that's speculation on this part, I think. The guards have confirmed that they were wearing those. And that's kind of interesting to me too. The supervisors knew about it. Like, their supervisors and warden knew about it. So the guards have said that they practice what's called North Odic heathery and not Odinism. I could see like there being differences. Like, you know, there's FLDS, which is basically Warren Jeff and polygamy and all that stuff, and LDS. And those are two totally separate things, but a lot of people get those two mixed up. So I kind of did some digging and stuff, and I found out the differences between like heathery and odinism. So heathens are considered someone who actually, they are aligned with the cosmetology concept of like well and the tree and the aspects of the cosmic forces. They like engage in gift cycles, like of the divine figures of the gods and ancestors. So they give gifts like flowers and wine and stuff to the gods. So they are just more of like not sacrificing someone, but they give their, they give gifts and stuff. So, and they just more of like connected with the earth and everything around them. So Odinism. So, and this is based off of I put the link on my website too, if you guys want to check that out. But it's on longship.net. Frequently asked questions. Okay, so Odinism is actually a white supremacist movement whose members claimed to worship Odin. The movement actually began in like the 1960s of the United States and the early 1970s in England. Else Christensen actually founded the Odinite Fellowship, was actually known for Yowie was a member of the British Union of the Fascist and Nationalist Socialist during like his teenager years, and he's probably like the most known person who was into this odinism. So, and a lot of the odinism, like I said, white supremacy, they do a lot of sacrificing to what they say. They claim it's animal sacrificing, but there have been rumors of human sacrificing as well. So Richard Allen's defense is trying to say that these are Odinites and not heathens, and they're claiming that they're heathens, not Odinites. So that's kind of interesting on the fact that it is true that these two people that are in charge of watching him are actually Odinites. So I think it throws a wrench in this case for sure. So I really feel like that throws a wrench in this whole entire thing. You know what? They actually do have those patches. They are associated with either that religion or odinism. And that's all in the defense, the papers, the 136 that's actually on my website too, that you guys can check out. So, but apparently what was leaked was these crime scene photos that were supposed to have a gag order on them. And it was actually the whole crime scene of Abby and Libby when they first got there and having the tree branches on them and taken on them. And I have not personally seen them. They were leaked out to a few other podcasters, and they went ahead and delivered them back to the police, and they claimed that they deleted them. But I guess that begs the question too, did the defense purposely try to do this, or did they not know that that was going to happen, and that this rogue person that used to be on their team decided to go ahead and just put it out there for everyone to see because they knew that they would get in trouble? I don't know. I feel like this case is all over the place. I mean, they've already tried to try the Anthony Shots guy with this, and then all of a sudden there's some, they do Richard Allen based on the fact that the bullet he had matched the one that was found under one of the girls when the girls were not shot to death. They were strangled. And also, it sounds like, to me at least, if you listen to the audio, that there are two different people. The one says like down the hill, like guys. And then there's another one that says like guys. And then the girl said he's got a gun. I mean, I don't understand why the police didn't first give that first sketch out for years later. Like it was like 2-3 years later, they didn't give out the first sketch that the witness said the first sketch. So the second sketch that was actually put out was supposedly the first sketch. Why wouldn't you put that out? I don't understand. I definitely feel like it's something bigger going on. I feel like I've always thought that there was more than one person, especially because too, like his car did not match a car that apparently was across the street from the old CPS place. So it would make sense that there was more than one person, maybe more than two. Who the heck knows? It's all just a little crazy. And now his lawyer has lawyers. So I don't know if his lawyer is going to be like temporarily removed or be removed or what. So it'll be kind of interesting to see what happens there. I know this whole thing's a mess. But it's been a mess for a long time. I mean, the fact is that they arrested Richard Allen on the fact that his gun matched the same type of gun that several people have, even police have. And I mean, the fact he was there that day, and he has said that. He came forward and was like, yeah, I was there that day. But then they didn't even really care to look into him until like years later. It just, I don't know. This all just, there's too much doubt, I think, to fully convict him. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know what you guys' thoughts are. Do you think that there's enough evidence here to even try him with anything? Would there be any evidence like in the future to try anyone with anything? Do you think that this was the dealings with some odinism cult? Do you think that it's like a coincidence that the same guards that were wearing the Odin patches were watching him? Like, what are you guys' thoughts on this? Always feel free to give comments. You can always email me at crimetheoriespodcast@gmail.com. And as always, guys, just keep fucking going.